You want to be the most hated player at your venue? I'm going to show you how with this next team build coming right up. Mr. Clicksflix is brought to you by Lucky Dice Cafe out of Huntsville, Alabama, home of the ROC. No matter if you're in the United States or around the world, Lucky Dice Cafe has the winning role for our gaming needs. You can visit them at LuckyDiceCafe.com or on their Facebook page using the link found in the description of this video. Mr. Clicksflix is brought to you by TrollandToad.com, one of the largest online gaming retailers. Please visit TrollandToad.com and use the promo code Mr. Clicksflix for 5% off your Heroclix purchase today. Alright guys, so like we said in the intro, today we are covering the very effective and one of my favorite team styles, the TK Yo-Yo. So the object of this team is to cover as much of the map as you can and then be able to retract your attacker so that your opponent can't get off a counter-offensive. It's very frustrating to play against. I've had people rage quit. I've heard stories of people rage quitting just because this is one of the oldest tricks in the book, quote-unquote, but it's still a good one, and people really like it. And a lot of times you'll see this quality like built into other teams, competitive teams, stuff like that. But they don't necessarily call it that. I'd sort of count when you call in a figure, and then you have them do their attack, and then you have them move some more so that they pop. That's sort of a modified TK Yo-Yo where you're sending the figure out, they're popping, and then they're coming back so that there can't be a counteroffensive. So there's that. Our demo team today is Zatanna at 75 points. Black Bolt at 150, and Iron Man from Secret Wars Battle World at 65. They're going up against, looks like Captain America Resilient and Vulture. Now for the time being, we're going to ignore that lines of fire to Black Bolt are blocked if he has no action tokens. We're, you know what we're going to do is we're just going to pretend that he has an action token. That's going to avoid this whole thing. So how this is going to work is what you do is you select one character to TK out the figure. And normally the figure that you TK out that you want to be your offensive figure, you either want to have an obscene range, I'd say 8 or more, 10's best, or hypersonic speed, so that they can take some weird angles on their shots to get to your opponent. So in this case, Black Bolt has an 8 range, which is actually pretty high, and he's also got an 8 movement with hypersonic speed. So he's got two things we're kind of looking for here. So Zatanna also has Perplex, and she has some bats where she could, do some stuff with that. Or no, she has probability control, I think. You guys let me know in the comments below which one she actually has. I don't have her card in front of me. But anyway, she has a power that's going to help, but we're not even going to bother using it. And Iron Man has TK as his special on his defense, along with Barrier and Toughness. So what we're going to do is, first things first, we would give, doesn't matter which one, they can both draw lines of fire 6 squares out. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Up here on this elevated, we'll just pretend that Iron Man did it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we're able to get to there. Now, if we wanted to, Black Bolt can draw a line of fire to there, but let's pretend that he had to move up for some reason. Maybe he wanted a close attack or something like that. He would activate his hypersonic speed, go 1, 2, 3, 4 squares, and then make his attack roll, probably targeting Vulture, that's what I'd say. And then you would move your 4 squares back, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then getting TK'd back by whichever figure didn't do the initial TK. In this case it would be Zatanna, and you TK him right back to there. And that's how it is. And then hopefully at that point you've crippled your opponent in a way that they cannot retaliate. That's very important, because if you make it so they can still attack you, you're kind of close-ish to them, but not super close. And that's what's nice about this, is that you're putting some distance. You don't cover as much distance as an Alpha Strike, but as you can see with this team, we're moving 6 squares plus another 8 between our hypersonic and whatnot. That's a 14 square swing, which is still pretty far for an offensive swing in my book. And you want your guy to be able to do, I'd say, 4 damage if there's no way, 3 damage if there's no way for him to avoid it, 4 damage if it can be reduced or something like that. Black Bolt here does 5, so he's actually a really good pick for this style of team. Other than his trait where he needs to have an action token to be able to pull this off. And then that's basically it. And what gets really frustrating is you're able to do that, hypersonic out, hit the opposing figure, and then generally it's enough to make it so that they can't counterattack you, and then you're able to do it again. Sometimes on bigger teams, they'll have 2 figures that you can TK yo-yo out. And if these TKers can have indomitability, that's even better. And it's a really deadly team style that I really like. So you guys let me know in the comments below what you think of the TK Yo-Yo team style and what your favorite TK Yo-Yo team is. Really enjoy reading that stuff. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, give it a share. It really helps keep me motivated to make these videos. That's all I have for you today. As always, please remember there's no critical miss if you don't have probability control.